Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to discuss Network Analytics Engine CLI-based agent as part of AOS-CX 10.9 release. As you guys know, CX NAE provides a quick visibility towards detecting and prioritizing. Also, the main key thing is to troubleshoot your network issues as they occur. To enhance the Network Analytics Engine functionality, we are bringing Network Analytics Engine CLI-based agent, where admin or users can configure this NAE CLI agent as any other features on AOS-CX platforms. With that, let's get started. The Network Analytics Engine can be configured now with AOS-CX CLI like any other features. AOS-CX has many informations which can be used for network admin or users to troubleshoot the network. The informations like event log, debug log, OVSDB, SNMP traps, all these informations are available on AOS-CX switches. Now with Aruba Network Analytics Engine, we can access them through CLI also. As you see here on the example number 1, you want to find out if is there any crashes happening due to any of the daemons, right, which are running on the AOS-CX switches. For that, no need to watch by an admin. Easily, Network Analytics Engine as a virtual technician sitting on your box can detect that one as you see on the screen. It will be keep watching for any daemon crash as you declare in this NAE agent as you see on the screen, and it will alert on the management station which you have like Aruba Central. So means the daemons, as soon as there is a crash, virtual technician Network Analytics Engine, which is running on AOS-CX switches, will directly alert the management station. And the same true with the authentication failure. That means any event ID which gets generated on AOS-CX switches, now you have a way to write the Network Analytics CLI-based agent to get the right alerts to your management station. How you are going to create the Network Analytics Engine is very simple. On the config mode, you are going to configure any light and the name of the agent and the event ID which you want to watch. And you are going to set a condition. And once you have set the condition, you can clearly set the status, whether it is a minor, major, critical, or normal. These are all the alerts which already exist on the NAE, and same thing is being added to Network Analytics Engine CLI. Apart from that, you can also add a syslog, which is going to be very useful for an admin. Whenever anything happens, he wants to write his own user-defined syslog, which is also provided in the NAE agent. There is a show command which you can execute through a CLI. How you execute? Similarly, you can execute through a Network Analytics Engine CLI-based agent with a command called CLI, where you can execute set of commands or one command followed by a set of commands like using the /n. For example, show core, show uptime, show system, or some of the show commands an admin will issue as soon as he sees any of the daemon crash. It's the same true with the user authentication failure. Let us see some more examples with the CLI-based agent. For example, you are watching a critical interface which is connected to a power device like an access point, Wi-Fi access point in a branch. That is a critical port. Let us consider 1/1/1 is a critical port where the AP is connected, and you would like to know whenever that AP goes down, you want to get an alert to your management station like Aruba Central or Aruba Netted. So that option is also now provided or also onto your web UI, right? So all three interfaces are very important. Aruba web UI for each AOS-CX is very rich, and you can access these alerts through a web UI, or you can also access through Aruba Netted or Aruba Central. Now, if you look at this example, it is watching the interface 1/1/1, and it is waiting for the event log 4003. Whenever there is an event log of 4003, that means there is an interface up, you will see this alert, or whenever there is an interface goes down, you will see this alert. So that means you can also set a condition and you can clear a condition. For example, if the interface comes up, you don't want to set an alert as major or minor. You want to set the interface because it's coming up. You want to set it as normal. But if it goes down, you want to alert the system saying that, hey, you know what, there is a port which is going down. Though the NAE CLI agent is so simple to create, the impact which brings in as an admin, it is so useful because it is going to be sitting as a virtual technician on AOS-CX switches and watching how an admin can watch the device. If you look at even on the route discovery agent, that is also doing the same job as an admin. With further ado, let us understand what all things are supported on AOS-CX switches as part of 10.09 release. As you see here, we are giving an option to you to configure through a CLI command. You can create NAE agents now, and you can monitor the events. There is a watch capability. Watch capability means whenever there is an event happens, this watch capability will be triggered. And also on the CLI, we have a monitoring capability, which is same as the previous NAE, whatever we supported on the AOS-CX switches. One agent per script. That means you can create number of agents, but we allow only one agent per script. One rule. That means you can create a condition and also you can clear a condition. As you saw on the interface example, you can set a condition and you can clear a condition. That is also allowed in one agent. Action wise, we have an action CLI, as you saw, show events, show version. Those are all things that are supported as part of 10.09. And also action alerts. Action alerts is major, minor, critical, normal. These are all supported. And you can also write the syslog. What is not supported is we don't have commands to action callback, action email, cron jobs. So these are all things are not supported. Even the integration with a third party like ServiceNow, Slack, and Topdesk is not supported as part of 10.09. It is in the roadmap. So we are, as I was telling, we are bringing the watch capability as the 10.09 release, and watching the time series database or nested conditions, our parameter or argument support, these are all things are not supported as part of 10.09. There are a lot of good show commands getting introduced as part of NAE. So show running NAE will provide you all the set of agents you have created through the show running configuration you can see. And there is a show NAE script and show NAE agents. Basically, show NAE agents is a one important command where you will be able to see whatever the agents you have created through the CLI. And it will also give you an alert. If you want to see whatever the last instance, that means if the alert has run more than 4 or 5 times, you want to see the past instance of the alert which has displayed, you can use a command show NAE alert detail, which will provide you the complete status of the last instance when the alert was occurred. And supported platform for now is the same as the previous NAE supported platform. That means 8000 series platform and also 6000 series platform. The low-end platforms can get this feature depending on the customer request. This has the VSX sync support, and also it is integrated as clean as possible with the NetEdit as well as with the Central. The alerts which get generated through the CLI are visible on the web UI also, and you can see that one. And in the display of that network analytics engine web UI, you can clearly see the scripts added less 4. That means whenever you create an agent, you will be able to see how many agents are getting added. Right? We'll see that part of the demo. You will be able to clearly see all of this detail. Without much wait, let us get on to the demo of this feature. As you see here, I'm using a AOS-CX device, and on the left-hand side is the AOS same device web UI. So I'm going to log into the web UI. You can see here, default agent has been running now. You can see there is no other agents on this device currently. Let's go to the overview and to check and confirm. You can see here, there is no other agents currently running. Scripts are 1, agents are also 1. So I'm going to go to the analytics window, and then let's create this agent as part of the first agent. If you want to see through the command is show NAE agent. That is a command which is getting introduced as part of 10.9, and you can configure now the CLI agents as you would like to configure. So look at this one. We have on the config mode, show NAE agent, how we saw on the exec mode. The config mode, we are introducing NAE agent light. There is a command like this, and you can put the agent name you wish to. For example, I want to watch the CPU of this device. What I can do is NAE agent, let us call it as a TOI CPU monitor. So this is the agent now we are creating through the CLI, and below this one you can see there are a lot of commands. You can provide a description, you can even disable this agent, and the end and exit, it's a part of the every command, and help and list also. We have something known as monitor, also something known as watch. These are the two capabilities which is getting introduced as part of the 10.09 release. So let me use a monitor now. Monitor is going to use the time series database. So I'm going to use the monitor, and I'm going to provide a name test. So I'm going to say resource. So you can see here, these are all predefined words. You can configure, either you can monitor the CPU, memory, or the storage. So currently I'm going to use the CPU, and I'm going to use, because it's all the devices are VSF. So I'm going to use like a VSF member 1. And you can monitor any member of your VSF stack also. With this, let me set a condition. You can see here, now we are monitoring the CPU. Once we monitor, we need to set the condition, right? So let's set the condition, set condition. Because we are using a monitor, and the name which we gave is the test, and let us keep it for greater than 10 seconds. We have here, you can see there are a lot of options, equal to, greater than. So all of these options are there. I'm trying the greater than 10 for how many minutes and how many hours you want to monitor, that you can set it. I'm just setting for seconds, 10. So once after that, I'm going to give status. I want to, whatever the status you wanted, you can set it that one. If there is a CPU more than 10%, greater than 10%, so it's going to give me an alert as major. I can also write a syslog. Look at this one. I can write a syslog and say CPU high. So this is something admin defined, user defined syslogs can be configured on the NAE CLI agent. Along with that, we can also execute some of the show commands. Show system resource utilization, right? That's a command you want to use. Show system resource utilization. And if you want to use any other commands, you can use with the /n. /n show version. If you want to use, and you want to use /n show NAE agent also, so that we know this which agent was running. And I'm going to so with this, we have created the agent. Let's exit out of this agent and let us activate this agent. Activating this agent needs same NAE agent. So let's exit. Let's get into the global mode and activate this agent, whatever we gave this agent, right? To see the agent, what you have configured, the now new command is show running config NAE is the command where it will display whichever the agent you have configured. It's very easy to activate the agent. All the agents, what you create by default, it will be disabled. User has to, or the admin has to enable this agent through the command NAE agent light and the agent name activate. Now this agent is activated. As you are seeing, you can see here, there is a new agent which gets created on the web UI also. You can watch here, there is an agent which is getting added that is called TOI CPU monitor. So on the web UI also, this agent is now added. This is because of the monitor functionality. You will have all the functionality, whatever you had for the previous NAE agent. That means you can have the graph, all of the details will be there because it's a monitor. Let us watch that one on the Aruba web UI. You can see here you have all the monitoring capabilities as similar to the REST API agent, how we used to create. Similarly, you have same thing for the monitor of the CLI-based agent. Let's go back. So now we have done the monitoring of the CPU. Let us start creating some of the other CLI-based agent, which is very important on the watch capability. Let us create a new agent, NAE agent light. Let us give this one to watch any crash of any daemons. Okay, so let us say watch crash. Right, so let us say watch crash any of the daemons. Right, let's give that one name and enter. So now what we can do is say watch capability. Till now we saw the monitoring capability, which is almost same as the previous monitoring capability. Right now the watch capability is what the new introduction which is happening as part of 10.09. Let us say test watch. So this is the watch and name of that watch is the test watch. We can say event ID. You all know we publish the event ID for each of the events what displays on the AOS-CX switches. The guide we can search is the event log guide on the web, so that you can get all the event IDs whatever we display on the show events on AOS-CX switches. So the event log ID is 201. Whenever any crash happens, any daemon crash happens, this is the ID will be logged on the event ID. So that's what I'm using. So I'm going to set a condition for this watch, right? And the name which we gave for the event log, right? And we gave it as a test watch, right? So once after that one, I'm going to set a status as major, because any daemon crash, I want to make sure it's a major alert. See this one, all the alerts what you used to get as part of the network analytics engine, all alerts are here: critical, major, minor, normal. So you can set, depending on the admin, how he wants to set the alerts, you can set that on the CLI-based agent also. The status now we can give as we already provided as a major. Now let us write some syslog so that we understand whenever anything happens, it's a daemon crash. So syslog, we can write it test watch a crash of the daemon, right? That's what we are trying to do. So let us write the same on the syslog. So once after the syslog, we can also execute some show command. Example is show system. So /n, we want to execute some more show version. So all of these commands can be executed. With that, let's do an exit. As I told you, creation of the agent followed by activating is the way. So let us activate this agent now. Any agent light, and we have this agent, and now we have to do an activate. So now this agent is activated. Keep watching on the window. You can see here watch crash daemon is already added to the web UI. That means this agent is already created. So if you want to see it on the CLI, show running config NAE will show you both TOI CPU monitor, which was created earlier. Now we created the crash daemon. Just to simulate this one, let us do a crash of the one of the daemon, right? So let me just get into sudo bash. Let's kill all -11. Just let me kill the fault handler daemon, right? Fault handler D. So that should kill the fault handler daemon. So we can also see this one through ls/fs and core dump, right? So that where we generate the core dump, we can see that one. Yes, I think the core dumps are generated. We can just exit now and check show core dump. I think looks like core dump is generated, and we can also check whether the event got generated before seeing the what happened on the network analytics engine. Show event -r should provide some of the fault handler. We can even see the -r, the The ID for the crash is, we can check, is something like 1201. So 1201, we can check, include, is it there or not? Yes, I think looks like this event ID. You can see here, this is what I was talking about. We published this event ID 1201. You can see here. Now, because 1201 is generated, let us check the show NAE agent. You should see some major here. You can see here, this is major. And before seeing it here, we can also observe that one on the CPU is also major. Now the CPU has gone up more than 10%. And I can also see watch crash, which is monitoring. I can see the major alert, and also the watch capability which got introduced is also giving me a major alert. Let us see that one on the web UI. If you go here, both the agents are giving me, the CPU monitoring agent is giving me the alert. You can see here it has crossed the more than 10%, which has been defined as a threshold. And also the daemon crashed. The what we wrote is converted as a Python agent. You can see that one here, but that is not the important parameter. But only one thing you have to notice, we don't see the, for a watch capability, we don't see any kind of a graph, because this is the watch capability will not use time series database. Monitor capability, even though you use the CLI-based agent, will use the time series database, where in case of a watch capability will not use the time series database, and it will only get triggered whenever there is an event. So that means it's a smallest event driven trigger mechanism. So anytime any event get triggered, like daemon crash, which we saw, an event ID get generated, you will see those alert, but you will not see as a graph. That is what the watch capability functionality on the AOS-CX switches. Let us create some more agents and understand a little bit more on the watch capability. Let us create an agent to do an interface flap. NAE agent, light interface, we'll say interface watch, right? So we are creating an agent to watch an interface. So now we'll say watch interface, right? This is what I'm going to give, say watch interface down. So interface down, the event ID you all know, it is on AOS-CX is constant, it is 404. And I'll also say watch for interface up, event log, that is 403, right? And I'm going to set a condition, watch, set a condition for the event log interface, right? The interface down, which we gave name. So let me call that name interface down. Now you can see here, include all, I'll give an interface as 1/1/4. Okay. So with this, it is watching the interface 1/1/4. In case if the interface goes down, I want to set an alert as, let's consider this time we'll set it as a critical. We'll think like there is an access point which is connected in a branch, and we want to make sure whenever that access point goes down, I want to get an alert. So I'll give a status as alert as critical. And I'll also write a syslog saying that a branch name. So status critical, and let me see here, syslog, and I'll provide a name here. Syslog is possibly, I'll say branch AP 600 or 6001 is down, right? So that's what I wanted to tell the admin with the syslog. Now I have given the syslog. I'll also do CLI and show him some of the CLI like show interface 1/1/4, right? That is something important. After this one, let's consider it comes back again. So I want to say clear condition. I can set that one inside that one watch. I can also say event log, and this one I kept it as an interface up, if you remember. So interface up, and we'll say include all 1/1/4. That's what I think we were monitoring, correct? So 1/1/4. So here also I can set the status back saying that, you know what, it is clearing the condition. So that means I can say syslog interface up, correct? I can say interface up, and now I can also say CLI show interface 1/1/4. I can even set the condition back to normal, right? So with this, I can say exit. Now let us check the exit. Now show running NAE, we should be able to see whatever the agent we created for the interface flap. This is the thing we created. So what we will do is first we'll activate this one. The way to activate this one, as I told you, agent creating is not the method. You should activate those agent once after you create, then only that agent will get activated. So for the CLI based agent, you have to create NAE agent, light, and the agent name, and you're going to give activate. Now you can see already as soon as we gave activate, that agent is already here, which is called interface watch, which is watching the interface. So now, well, first let us check whether the interface is up, which is connected to AP. Let us consider, and 1/1/4 is up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just do a shut off this interface to see whether that alert gets generated or not. So I'm going to do end. And if you go back and check here, it is critical, and interface, you can see here, it is giving that on the web UI. The same thing will be provided on the central as well as on the web UI, on the NetEdit window also. So because it is shut now, if I want to see what are the alerts which got executed for this command, the way to check that one is show NAE, right? Show NAE agent, and I can see alert, or I can also provide the agent name. The agent name which we used was interface watch, right? And I can say alert, and I can say detail. It will execute whatever I have been showing, asked to execute on the CLI. For example, here you can check, I've asked show interface 1/1/1. Now it is admin down. That means all that information is captured as part of that alert. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back that interface back with a no shut, and I should see the alert which has been set as critical should get back to normal. You can check here, it's already set back to normal. We can go back to here, you can see the interface watch has been set to normal. It is clear, and also I can check the same thing on the show NAE agent command using this command, or I can also provide show NAE agent with the interface, show NAE agent and the agent. You can see here it has been normal now. So let us also create one more with SSH authentication, one more agent. The SSH authentication can be watched using the CLI agent. So what I'm going to do is SSH authentication watch, right? So I'm going to create this agent. So basically what it's going to do is going to do a watch, and I have to give a name for this. So I'll say SSH watch, correct? So, and then I'm going to give the event ID, which is the event ID for all the SSH is basically 5201, correct? 5201, 10 is the event ID for all the SSH failures. So once after that, I'm going to do a set condition. So you're watching, after a watch, what do you have to do? How you do the same thing, monitor, and then you set a condition. Watch, you set a condition. So you set condition, watch, event log, right? And you say the name of that one, what you're calling here, the name of that one is SSH watch. So then you can say count as, let's keep it as 1. So every time whenever there is authentication failure, I want to set it, because it's an authentication of SSH. It's kind of a major. So I want to set the status as major. And I want to also give a syslog where who are the users are there. So I want to just say SSH failure. So once after the syslog, I want to also execute some of the command, show version /n. I also execute show authentication locked out users, right? That's a command to see the logged out users. So this is what I have. Once after this one, I think we are set to see the SSH failure error. So what we have to do is we have to activate without forgetting that one NAE agent light, and we have to activate this agent. The agent name which we gave was, the best way to check that one is to issue the show running NAE so that you can see the agent what you created. So I'm going to say activate or enable, I think. This is something, a good improvement we can have under the each agent. We can have an enable command. I think currently only disable is given. So I'm going to say activate. So now as soon as I say activate, you can see here the agent is created here dynamically. Watch crash, we saw that one, and resource is a default agent. SSH authentication is just now we created, interface we saw, and also we saw the monitoring capability. Now what we are seeing is the SSH authentication failure. So if I go and check show NAE agent, you should see for this agent no alarms, it should be normal. So then the agent name is SSH, correct? So let us search for the SSH agent. You can see this is normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit. I'm going to re-log in with a bad username and a bad password. So that means now you should be able to see, that means it's a access denied. As soon as it's access denied, any admin can easily check whether the user which is trying to log in is authentication failed or passed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this and reopen this one with the right username and password. That way you can check that one. Now I'm not given the clear condition. Because of that, the alert will stay on the device. So show NAE agent. You can see on the SSH also now there is a major alert. So this is how you are going to create CLI-based agent to debug your network issues. That's where network analytics engine becomes so handy. You can either create an agent using a Python. That is what we already support. Now we are giving a capability to you to use the event logs which get generated on the box to create your own CLI-based agent so that it uses the same framework and alert the admin using the web UI, NetEdit, or Central. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.